All right. Hey guys. So welcome to our team call tonight. We are so excited. We have Danny with us tonight. She is going to share an amazing game plan of kind of how she does her monthly hustle. And this girl, when she told me that she has hit SC 40 plus on average, like every single month. That's her gig. And so I thought we really would love and be so blessed to hear from you. And so we are really pumped about that. But first, I also wanted to just say a couple things and then hand it off to Steph to introduce our coach success story for a couple minutes tonight, Miss Erica. So excited to hear from you. But I just wanted to encourage you guys. This has been such an interesting situation. We've talked about it a little bit. But truly, and like all of our worlds have been rocked maybe a little bit with this situation, but it is such a blessing to see how much things are thriving for people that are being able to find community online, and what a gift we have to serve them with that. And so I've just seen this incredible increase in people kind of wanting to know what we're doing and what we're all about. And because they've consistently seen what we do as coaches, it's really cool to see people's need become something that we can give. And so I've been super blessed by that. I loved, if you guys were on our call on Friday with the Dynasty, we got to have such a great opportunity call for people that were interested or thinking about it. And we have that recording. Jesse has it. I have it. We've shared it in team pages. So remember that you can still utilize that. There's no reason why you can't. You can still gift that to people and still help them through our free process of helping people get set up, but you can also offer them something that is going to get them real results long-term as well, and be proud of that. I'm so proud of that, and that we can offer that. And so remember, continue to do that because it's a need. I mean, Beachbody On Demand, I won't go on a huge tangent here, but Beachbody On Demand is up. We had 483,000 people working out the other day and 97,000 subscribers. So it definitely is a need. And if you're not inviting people, either somebody else is or the website is getting credit, and you know that you're going to be an amazing coach and help them, right? So this is so important that we continue to share this gift and not hold it inside our mouths. We've got to share it. We've got to believe in what we do enough to share it. No matter what's going on, no matter what our circumstances are, we can always be a blessing to other people. So I love you guys. I wanted to share that with you. I hope it encourages you, because I know that our world is just nuts right now, but we do not serve a God of chaos. We serve a God of order and grace, and we know that we believe in what we do. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Stephanie Henderson, who's going to introduce our coach success story real quick, and then we're going to hand it back to me, and I'm going to introduce Danny. So Steph, why don't you go ahead and go ahead and introduce Erica.
Okay. Hi guys. I'm super excited to introduce Erica. She is a wife and mother of one. She's been a coach for a year, but just recently starting to take her business very seriously, and she's going all in. She's on fire, and she is going to share her excitement for this business. She's going to share a couple of things that are working for her right now and how she's been able to achieve Success Club in the last couple months. Take it away, Erica.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Jessica, for this opportunity. I can't believe it. I am honestly so excited about this business, and through these crazy times, it's been my lifeline. A little background story of me is my main income is a server, and it has been for a long time, and that was taken away 2 weeks ago. And instead of, I could have let that crumble me and let fear come in. I've been very close, obviously, to God first and foremost, but this business, like I said, has been my lifeline because I'm looking at it like a blessing in disguise. I now have limited time to work this business, and I know, what I'm praying for, what I'm visualizing and putting out there is that when the restaurants are open again, I won't need my regular shifts. I'm probably maybe 1 or 0 because I'm going to be thriving in this. So that's what I'm working for right now. And what's working for me are things that we hear all the time, but I'm going to share them with you. So consistency, even the business side or the tracker on a consistent base for the last year. I joined last March. I've been consistent on my workouts. I'm showing results. And this is something I learned from another training is no matter what, I'm showing up on my stories. Even if I'm taking a rest day, I'm telling people like I'm taking a rest day, never, doing 3 days of workouts and then disappearing for 4 days. I know that I learned from somebody else that was super bad. So I've stuck to that. Consistency, consistency, consistency. And now for the last 3 weeks and maybe almost a month, I've been really consistent on my tracker, and it's showed because for the first time ever, I've hit Success Club for 2 months in a row, and I'm not going back. I'm going to hit Success Club every time and hopefully get some great tips from Danny so that I can make it bigger. So just working on my tracker consistently, and personal development is my other lifeline. Personal development every day, listening to audiobooks, listening to them as I'm getting stuff done around the house. I know that we all have really restricted times. So something I also learned from another coach is that never be doing chores without listening to personal development. When I'm doing dishes, when I'm folding laundry, even when I'm driving, like it's always personal development. Lately, my personal development has been all like faithful and things about times, of rockiness. And of course, coaching trainings. I was just doing an entrepreneur training with some of our top coaches, and now I'm in the new training with Lindsay, and just so excited to learn. Something that I recently heard from my coaches, and it really stuck to me, because I've been taking a lot of notes and listening to a lot of trainings, is that, okay, after each training, really focus on what you're going to get out of it and what you're going to implement. Because if we're just taking notes and not implementing them, we're just like a river that lets the water. It's what I've been really working on making sure that I'm implementing something, I'm writing it down. The most recent one was from a call that we had a couple of weeks ago from Ash. Her name is Ashley McCollin, I think, but she gave really great tips on how she works her tracker, and I've been doing that for the last 2 weeks. And those were that she does 20 connections a day and 10 invites. And I've been doing that. This is going to be day 9 that I do 20 connections a day and 10 invites. I've had a couple of days where it's like 15 connections and 5 invites, but I'm still staying consistent. So those are my tips: consistency, tracker, and personal development. And just being hopeful in this time that is so rocky and so weird. We're here to share positivity with the world and just own that, because this is the blessing in disguise.
Erica, that's awesome. I love, love, love that you just practice what you preach, and I'm thankful for you sharing. So thank you so much for that. I know that it encourages me too. Yes, all those things that we talk about, and then it's implemented and it continues to help people grow. It doesn't matter that Erica started a year ago. When she got consistent, when she became consistent, she started to really grow. And I really appreciate you sharing that tonight. So, and way to go, girl. Everything. I was like, yes, sister, amen. Let's do this. So loved it. Thank you, girl. And then can I just ask you guys too, I'm going to introduce Danny here, but if you are not muted, can you just look at that real quick and try to mute yourselves? And so we're going to, Erica, your story goes right into Danny sharing tonight. And so as Danny speaks to us, I just want to kind of hit it off with a couple of her stats. So Danny is a 3-star diamond in her first business center. She's a 1-star diamond in her second business center. She is a 2020 Premier Coach, a Success Starter, a Success Club All-Star Legend, SC10 Legend. And so if you're not quite sure what that means that she has hit SC10 for at least 2 years in a row. And so that is amazing. And so she's going to share again. If you missed it, I just want to say she consistently hits SC40 plus every single month. And so she's going to talk to us a little bit about that tonight. So Danny, thank you so much. Take it away, girl. We're pumped to hear from you.
Yay! Thank you guys. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. So my name is Danny Detra. I live in Portland, Oregon with my darling husband, John, and my daughter, Chloe. I also have 2 stepsons as well, but they are much older. So My stepsons are 22 and 25, and then my daughter is 2. So we have a good time. So I started coaching in February 2015, but prior to that, I was a collegiate and competitive cheerleader. And then in 2013, when my husband and I got married, I decided I would hang up my pom-poms and just focus what little extra time I had on my marriage. Thought that would be a good idea. And so within 4 months of getting married, I gained 10 pounds, like what felt like overnight, but it was probably four months or so. And, you know, every bride after their wedding cuts all their hair off. So between that and the weight gain, I was like, this is not working for me. So I worked nights. I went to school during the day. I was a bar manager at night. And so I just felt like I didn't have the time, nor did I have the motivation to want to take care of myself. So I allowed myself to stay stuck for a really long time. And so the end of 2014, my best friend tells me that she lost 9 pounds in 21 days. And I was like, what are you doing? Because we always did all these crazy diets together. And so the fact that she had done this, I was like, wait, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, it's this program called 21 Day Fix. And I happen to be a closet Beachbody infomercial program order junkie. I literally own them all. So I was a bar manager for 9 years. And on the nights that I didn't work, I couldn't go to bed at normal time. So what plays late at night? Beachbody infomercials. So I had all the programs. I just never did them. So I literally was like, whatever I got to do, I'm getting in this group. This woman contacted me and she's like, okay, you got to buy this program. And I'm like, I already have the program. She's like, okay, you got to buy Shakeology. And I was like, nope, not doing that. And she's like, okay, you're in. I'm like, wait, what? So I was in the group and I literally took the program up off the shelf. It had like an inch of dust. I had to like scrape the dust off of it. That's how long it'd been sitting up there. Plus I don't clean anything. So that's another story. But anyways, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this program. I'm not going to follow these containers. Certainly not drinking that shake. Like I'm just going to do this program. I'm going to lose 10 pounds and it's going to be awesome. So I showed up every single day in the group, did my workouts every single day. And at the end of 21 days, I had not lost an ounce, not even an ounce, literally. I could not believe it. I started 138.4. I ended 138.4. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing this again. So I joined the next group. We're doing another round. I do this 4 months in a row. I did not lose an ounce. I actually looked worse, if you could believe that. Because in my head, I was not working out. I could eat whatever, whenever I wanted. And as a bar manager, I worked until 3 or 4 in the morning. So at midnight, if I wanted mozzarella sticks, I was having those. I would have a hot chocolate and a chai tea to start work, along with 3 vanilla scones. And then when they, the kitchen cooks went to the store, if they asked if I wanted anything, I would say a king size Carmelo bar. So clearly nutrition was a strong point of mine, but I told myself that I didn't eat bad because I didn't drink soda and I didn't eat fast food. But clearly there's a lot of other things that are just as bad for you. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm over 30 now. I'm going to have to do something extreme because this is not working. So what would you know? February 2015, 21 Day Fix Extreme release. And I ordered the challenge pack and I was like, I'm doing these containers, I'm drinking this shake, and I'm doing it every single day. And for some reason, I was like, you know what? If I really want to get this 6-pack, like that was my motivation. Like, what the hell's going on? Okay. I'm like, if I'm going to get this 6-pack, I'm going to start posting my workouts over on Instagram. Now, I'll tell you, I was a collegiate cheerleader. I was a competitive cheerleader. I was doing a lot of really cool shit. I was a ghost on social media, an absolute ghost. I wouldn't even like people's stuff. I was such a freak. I had quite a few friends on Facebook because the cheer world was pretty big. I had no friends on Instagram. So that's why I chose Instagram, because I thought it would be less embarrassing over there, but still in front of the world. So I would not fail, because I wouldn't fail in front of all those people. So I started posting it, and literally it was just like ugly ass collages of my shake and food and workouts, like so ugly. Like that's tip number 1 for you. Stop doing collages. Okay. Okay. And then I would post like, today was, Pilates extreme. It was really hard. It was really tough, whatever. Right. But I showed up every single day, and people started messaging me, asking me if I was a coach. They would tell me I was inspiring, and I'm like, what are these words that you're saying? It's so weird. And I was like, no, I'm not a coach. I don't even know what that is. I literally did not know one single Beachbody coach besides the woman who was running the group. And I didn't know her at all. I wasn't friends with her on social media, nothing. I just knew her through my best friend who got me in the group. So I literally did not know coaches, what they did, what they posted, nothing. I just knew I was having a great time in the group, and I really wanted a six pack. So at the end of 21 Day Fix Extreme, I lost 3 pounds. And I was like, woo, I'm on my way. I'm getting this six pack, right? Okay, so I decided that since in the 5-month span I've been doing this, I had literally handed my coach 7 of my friends, because I'll tell you, even though I had 0 results, I was actually a more positive and happy person, and people were asking me what I was doing. I had been so mentally, emotionally, physically just the lowest I'd ever felt in my life because of the way I looked and because of where I worked, and I didn't feel like I was going to the place in life where I thought I should be. I was just, everything on the outside looked fine, but in my head, I was a major mess. And people noticed that I was smiling and I was having fun, and they wanted to know what I was doing. It wasn't because of the results. It was because they could see that I was actually happy, and that's truly what people want. Like, yes, people want results, but really they just want to be happy. And so I had given her 7 of my friends. So I just decided, you know what? If I can make an extra $100 to $200 to go shopping with, I felt at the time I made enough money at my job that I didn't really need the extra money. We always need extra money, right? Like when people tell me like, oh, I don't need the money. I'm like, oh, really? Didn't know you were a billionaire. Okay, great. So we always need the extra money, right? So I was like, if I can make that, like, that's great. I'm having a great time. So I signed up as a coach and I freaked out. I was now that girl, right? I'm selling crap on the internet. What am I doing? I'm so embarrassed. I just freaked out for 2 weeks, did nothing. Didn't do trainings, didn't join Facebook groups, didn't tell anyone. And then randomly, 2 weeks later, I'm in Hawaii with my husband on vacation, and an upline posts about a Push to Emerald group. Okay, $10 buy-in. Anyone who goes Emerald in the 14 days gets to split the pot. There's one thing you need to know about me. I'll do anything for a free t-shirt. I will do anything for money. Okay, doesn't matter. I was going to win that money, and I'm a type 3, so winning is kind of my thing. So I was like, I'm in, whatever. PayPal'd my $10. They were like, added me to some Emerald group, and they were like, make a list of 25 people and invite them all to join you. So I made a list of 45, and I spammed every person I had ever met, whether I had talked to them in 10 years or what, and I invited them to join my challenge group. I don't recommend you doing that, but it got me moving, and I made my very first post. I had not made a single post, and all I did was held my shaker cup up to my face, and I had like this much chocolate Shakeology, and I said, healthiest meal of the day. And then I put like a bunch of hashtags that meant nothing. I didn't say what I was drinking, why I was drinking, or what the hell this brown liquid in my cup was. God, it was so embarrassing. Okay, so, but you know what? It got me moving. It got me moving in the direction of where I needed to go, and I have evolved over 5 years. I no longer post pictures of my shaker cup next to my face, okay? But I'll tell you, at the end of that 14 days, I'd hit Success Club 12. I had gone Emerald, and I made $394 in my first 2 weeks as a coach. I don't really count the first 2 weeks because I did nothing. So the last 2 weeks as a coach, I made $394. Now, at that time, again, I was a bar manager. I was used to making that in a night. So that wasn't a ton of money for me, but I was like, I think I have the opportunity of a lifetime on my hands, because if I can do this just by helping people, imagine what I could really make when I really give it my all, right? And I didn't want to be a career bar manager. I wasn't going to be the pregnant bartender like all the girls before me. I knew I wanted to be a mom someday with my husband. And so I'm like, I need a way out of here so I can go find a job that I do love. I never had intentions of being a full-time coach, but I wanted it to bridge me so I could go find a job that I did love, because I knew that I was meant for more. And 11 months into my journey, I lost my job in a 2-minute phone call at my husband's company party. So that was fantastic. So after 7 years of service, they called me and said, "You're too negative. You don't work here." And that was it. No more paychecks coming in. And as you know, we work off tips. So no more money coming in. And at that time, I'd been a coach for 11 months. I was a diamond, a very shaky one. And I was making about $1,000 to $1,200 a month. So no business saying that this will be now my full-time job. But my husband looked at me as I was literally bawling my eyes out. And he's like, "Whatever you're stressed about, we got it." I'm like, "You don't understand." And he's like, "What?" And I had to tell my husband in that moment that I had $61,000 in debt that he knew nothing about. Okay. So I was in college for a very long time. So that shit adds up quick, right? And so I had to tell him in that moment that he had no idea about that. I literally couldn't speak the words. I had to write it on a piece of paper and slide it over to him like I was the godfather. It was ridiculous. And he is a CFO, type A. That would never happen to him ever in his life. And so he was like, "We got this." And he's like, the next morning I got offered a bar position at a different bar. And I looked at him and I said, "What should I do?" And he said, "What makes you the happiest?" And I said, "Beachbody." And he said, "Then let's go for it." So with the support of my husband, I have been home now 4 years with Beachbody. At the end of 2016, we got pregnant with Chloe. And it's just so amazing that not for a second did I have to worry about, well, I have to go get another job. Well, I have to go find something else to do to bring in more income because of this opportunity. I never had to get a text or a phone call and say your baby said their first words or your baby took their first steps. I got to be here for all of that. And I know you guys don't know me, but being a stay-at-home mom was never a dream of mine. I wanted to work and I wanted to work hard and I wanted to climb that ladder and I wanted to make a lot of money doing it. But then this baby came into my life and I can't imagine not being here for all these moments with her. And so because of Beachbody and this opportunity, I get to be here with her. And I get to say that that $61,000 is completely erased. I don't owe anything to anyone because of this opportunity. Insert income disclaimer, right? It's been 5 years of really hard work, a lot of tears, okay? But I'm a type 3, right? I want to win everything. So we can't win everything. We're going to fail a lot, right? But from the very beginning, after those first 2 weeks where I did nothing, after I saw the opportunity, I just went for it. And when I came out of the gates, I came out running. I went Emerald in 12 days. I went Diamond in 4 months. I was hitting Success Club 20, 30, 40, 50 as a brand new coach. Because why not? There's no shortage of people. And I've made a lot of mistakes in the last 5 years, but I have tried to learn and grow from every single one of them. But the only superpower that I have in this business is consistency. I think that I am super special, but I think every woman on this screen is super special as well. So I hate when coaches say, "I'm not special." No, we are all super special. We all are just super special in our own way. And so no coach on here is going to do it the way that you do it. And that's your superpower. And I've just used that superpower to the fullest because I know what I have to offer is a gift to every single person. So like she said, I am a 2-time premier coach. I'm a 3-star diamond in my first business center, 1 star in my second business center. I have now not only exceeded my previous income, but I have more than doubled it. And like I said, I'm debt free. So this opportunity has been absolutely life changing for me and has helped me develop into the woman that I always wanted to be, but that I told myself I couldn't be because of where I was previously. And so it's just been absolutely amazing. And so I always am so upset when coaches squander the opportunity that's in front of them because they're worried about what Sally123 Bubbles on Instagram is going to think of them. Like, who cares what Sally Bubbles thinks, right? Like, she's not living her best life. Like, it doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want. Everybody uses social media exactly how they want to, and that's your right. Right? If someone wants to post 17 photos of their baby and literally not 1 centimeter did that baby move and all 17 and they couldn't pick just one, that's their right. If somebody wants to post all of their wedding photos in one day, all 400 of them, that's their right. Right? If people want to use social media to be political, that's their right. Okay? But
Danny,
if
I'm so sorry. One second. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Misty, can you mute, hun? There we go. Thanks, sweets. Okay, go ahead, Danny. I just didn't want to miss anything.
So you have the right to do whatever you want on social media. And I think spreading positivity is what the world always needs, especially now. So you have that opportunity in your hands, but you can't let what some people might, that's a big word, might be thinking, right? And if somebody is thinking negative of you because you want to get in better shape, you want to take care of your family, and you want to live a healthy, happy life, then they're probably not someone you want to be friends with anyways, because they sound miserable. So I want you to know that the woman who signed me up is no longer a coach. She didn't talk to me for 2 years and then she quit. Okay, so I have had little to no guidance in this business. I am on an inside dead leg of an inside dead leg because the people above the woman who I signed up with had no idea what they were doing. So in 5 years, I've never had one coach put underneath me. Everything that I have built, the money that I make is from my hustle, okay? So nothing was handed to me, and we all have the exact same opportunity. Maybe you came in and you're on a strong leg of a freaking badass sponsor. Like, use that to your advantage. We all have the same opportunity here. But stop making excuses. Oh, I don't have a supportive sponsor. Oh, I'm on a dead leg, so coaches don't get added to me. Boo frickin' who? Go get it. Whatever you want, it's yours. But if you're sitting there waiting for it, it's never gonna come. So I know that people aren't as brave as I am. So I have to be brave for them, and I go first, and then I pave that path for them to follow. So I have to reach out to them and extend my hand and let them know that I'm available to help them. And so from the very beginning, I have just been as real and raw and honest as I possibly can with my audience. If I'm having a bad day, I tell them. If something bad happens, if I miss a goal, if something great happens, I tell them. 2 years after I had my daughter, I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, 2 years ago, I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And some days it is the most painful thing for me just to walk around the house. So I could lay down and die, or I could be the warrior that tells other people like, hey, you were handed this mountain to show others that it could be moved. So we all have problems. We all have issues. Bad things happen to good people. What are you going to do about it? If you cannot change the situation, just change the way you think about it. So how come at the healthiest point in my life, I got diagnosed with a debilitating disease? How is that possible? Things happen. You just have to keep moving forward. So I don't really give in when coaches give excuses. I just don't have time for it, because there's another coach on someone else's team who has it 10 times worse than you that's doing 10 times more than you. So I just don't believe in excuses, because they're just that. You either want it or you don't. And of course, you're never going to be perfect. You know what I mean? Not every single day your tracker is going to be perfect, or you're going to send, and sell 1 million challenge packs or sign up 100 coaches. Like, it's never going to look like that. But we have to stop worrying about the results and start focusing on the actions, because if you're only focused on the results, you're going to lose the joy that is this business real fast. Because unfortunately, I can't guarantee if you do exactly what I do, you'll have the same results as me. We could send the same amount of invites, we could post the same amount of times a day, and our results are going to look different. Maybe it's because I've built up more consistency, more trust, more whatever. It doesn't matter. Maybe yours would be better than mine. Who knows? All I know is if you haven't gotten a yes, or the amount of yeses that you're looking for, you haven't talked to enough people. But every single day, I just try to be the best coach that I can be. And then I know that I'm granting permission for my team to follow in my footsteps. So if you're ever finding yourself saying, ugh, no one's signing up. Ugh, people only want workouts from me. Ugh, my team's not doing anything. You're literally writing your own history. So whatever you say, whatever you think, whatever you talk about, those are the things that are going to come true. So I just wanted to say that I've had little to no guidance in this business as far as like an upline, like checking in with me, telling me what goals I should be setting or helping me push towards things. I've had some incredible mentors and people that have helped me along the way. But as far as like that one-on-one mentorship of, that coach, I've never had that. So I told myself in the very beginning, you have to become the leader that you wish you would have had. And I try to be that leader to my entire team, whether PS or not, because I never want someone to feel the way that I felt for so long, but I never let that stop me. My coach was an emerald when I was a diamond. My coach wasn't hitting Success Club when I was hitting Success Club 50. It doesn't matter what she was doing because what she does doesn't affect me. Rachel Hollis, what she does doesn't affect me. I do what I need to do for my business. So from the very beginning, when they said, I'm just very, very coachable. I'm very black and white. So if something's a rule, I follow it. So the one thing the woman who signed me up told me to do was do the trainings. And it was like day 2 and I hadn't learned how to make money yet. And she messaged me and was like, how's the training going? And I was like, this is too kumbaya for me. I just want to know how I make money. And she's like, I promise, just do the trainings and it'll be worth it. And on day 3 or 4 or 5, after we did why and all that stuff, which is very important, but I'm like, I just want to know, like, how do I make money? Like, what are the basics, right? And it said Success Club. And they asked the question, are you going to be a success starter? I had no idea what that meant, but I liked that title. And I was like, I'm going to be a success starter. And then the next day they explained, you got to hit Success Club every single month, non-negotiable. You help 3 people. And you do that by inviting 3 people a day. So that's what I did. I said, hey girls to 3 people. I added 3 new friends. I sent out 3 birthday messages or whatever it was. And I invited 3 people to join me in a challenge group. And I did that every single day because they said that was the rule. So if it was time to go to work and I hadn't invited 3 people, I would find 3 people to invite no matter what. No matter how painful it was, I would just send them an invite, right? Obviously now I'm a little more calculated in how I talk to people, but that was the very beginning. And I was just trying to hit Success Club because that's what they told me to do. I was a success starter. I did earn my free ticket to Summit, right? I've never missed Success Club except for month 16 of my business. I hit Success Club 4 because I got too big for my britches and I just thought people were going to come to me. So lesson learned, you go get what you want. If you don't ASK, you don't GET, right? So you have to go get people. And then I've never missed it since because it is a non-negotiable. You have to hit Success Club. There are like 7 billion people in the world. When people act like they can't find 3 people, I'm like, they're not hiding under rocks. They're everywhere, okay? Instagram alone has 1 billion users a day. And you can't find 3 people to help this month? No, you can't find more than 3 people you're uncomfortable talking to. So you have to get totally comfortable being uncomfortable. So my strategy was just to help as many people as I could. I know there's no shortage. I know there's no hitting Success Club 6 and then coasting the rest of the month. No, you help as many people as you can. That's why I'm sitting at Success Club 46. That's why I hit Success Club 40, whatever, last month. That's why I hit Success Club 36 the month before. That's why I hit Success Club 48 the month before. Because there's no shortage of people. And if you're saying like everyone already has a coach, no, you are in a bubble of Beachbody. People outside of us have no idea what Beachbody is. So you think that everybody knows about Beachbody, they don't. You know what the first question I ask people when they ask for information? The first question, always, are you familiar with Beachbody programs and Shakeology? And I will tell you 9 out of 10 say no. Not everybody has a Beachbody coach. There's like 7 billion people. There's like 400,000 coaches. We're missing a lot of people. Plus, we can't even touch a lot of those people because they're in other countries, right? So not everyone has a Beachbody coach. So my tips for social media, show up every single day, good, bad, or ugly. I used to say the only days you can't show up on social media is the day your house burns down or the day you die. But I've recently changed that because if your house is burning down, you absolutely should take a picture because people are going to support you and you're probably going to get some sales out of that, okay? So take a picture of your house and put it up there, okay? So if you die, that is the only time you cannot post on social media, right? I know we have bad days. I know bad things happen, but there's a lot of good people out there who would love to shower you with love and support if you just show up. And there's a lot of people's lives that you could change if you just show up. So I try to have a good balance of Beachbody and lifestyle and go back and forth. And that's just for an aesthetic look. I might be talking about Beachbody in that lifestyle photo, okay? If you read my posts, 99% of them are about coaching, because whatever you talk about is what people want from you. So if you only talk about workouts, don't be confused why people won't buy challenge packs from you. If you only talk about workouts, don't be confused why no one wants to be a coach on your team, because they're not seeing that from you. This is a digital age. If it's not on Instagram, it's not real. If you didn't put it up there, it didn't happen. So whatever you talk about is what people are going to want from you. And I want women to join my team. So I talk about coaching 99% of the time. I know that I can fill a boot camp because they see me working out every single day. Every single day. They see 3 to 5 workout clips of me working out. Okay, so I follow a very strategic social media plan. Again, I go back and forth aesthetically for photos of lifestyle and fitness, right? So if I take a picture in my fitness clothes, the next photo I put up needs to be me in real clothes, okay? And I do that so people know that I'm a real person and that they're more attracted to my page, because if it's just fitness, 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 they're not getting to know me, right? But if you look at my feed, you'll never see anything that says Beachbody. You'll see me, because I'm the brand. Beachbody is just the tool that I'm using to further myself in life, okay? Beachbody is amazing. We have the best fitness programs and products out there. I'm not embarrassed of any of it, but I want people to like me and relate to me and trust me. So then when I do make the recommendation to go with Beachbody, that they're ready to do that. Because they can get Beachbody from literally Amazon if they want. Why are they going to buy from me? They're only going to buy from me if they like, know, and trust me. So they have to get to know me. So you'll see on my feed, it's the 5 things that I care most about in life, which is my husband, my daughter, fashion, fitness, friends, and Disney. That's what you'll see. And I wash, rinse, repeat those things, because that's me. You'll never see me hiking. I hate outdoors. I like inside. Okay. You'll never see me fishing. Okay. No, that would never happen. Right. You will not see me doing a lot of things. You'll see me doing the same things over and over again, because that's me. So whatever makes you share about those. If someone's reading People magazine, they're reading it for the celeb stories and for the diet tips and maybe a recipe. They're not looking for tips on hunting or where to find the biggest bucks. They're going to your page for a certain thing. So give your followers what they want, and that's your 5 or 6 roles in life, the things that make you you. So I follow that, and then every single post that I make has a call to action on it. And I know that makes some people uncomfortable, but I don't want to miss out on the chance to help somebody. Because guess what? Carbon 38, Lululemon, they don't miss a damn day to email me and tell me about their new arrivals, okay? I swear to God, Lululemon emails me at least 3 times a day. I'm like, okay, I know you don't have this much new stuff. Like, why am I getting all these emails? But they're not missing a chance to email me. So why am I missing a chance to help somebody who could use my help? So I put a call to action on almost every single post that I do. And some people are like, well, I don't want to do that. Okay, that's fine. Because someone will read my post with my call to action and they'll sign up with me. So how does that make you feel? Right? So I don't miss a chance to help people, because I'm not naive to think that everyone sees every post, reads every post, or gets to the end of every post. So I know that I have to keep putting it out there, because I'm running a business. This is a business. And the more you can treat it like a business and then take the emotion out of it, you're running a business. So Nike isn't concerned what people think about them. As long as they're getting people in the store buying the merchandise, they're not concerned if Sally Bubbles doesn't like their new line. They don't really care. They're still going to continue to go and make more products, right? So I can't be worried about if someone doesn't like the way that I approach life or approach motherhood or how I dress or how I do my hair. I cannot worry about that, because you could be the juiciest peach and someone doesn't like peaches. Like, everybody is offended by everything. So just live your life, right? Because I would rather be exhausted from trying than live my life hidden. Okay. So Beachbody lifestyle, most likely they both have a call to action on it. As far as stories go, every single day, the first thing you're going to see from me is my Energize. Now, this has evolved over the years. Obviously, TikTok is all the rage right now. But, before it was a boomerang, and then it was me talking, doing my Energize, and then it was Triller. And, now it's TikTok. So you choose however you want to do it, but show up and show up consistently, because people will want to know what the yellow stuff you're drinking is. Okay. So it's not confusing when I offer people challenge packs with Shakeology or Energize, because they see me using it every single day. If no one sees you using anything but workouts, they're not going to buy supplements from you, because you haven't showed them the value of why you use it. So every single day on my story, people see me and my daughter cheersing, having our shakes. Okay. Every person in my house uses Shakeology. We go through 2 bags a month. Okay. Every person in our house uses Shakeology. It is a daily staple for us. It is absolutely vital to us. Chloe is the healthiest little girl in the world. She's been sick twice her entire life, and she'll be 3 in July. She drinks Shakeology every single day. I used it as a prenatal when I was pregnant. So she's had it since the womb. It is a daily staple in our house. So it's not confusing to my customers, clients, when I offer them a challenge pack, because they see me having it and they want to give it to their littles, right? Okay. It's not confusing because my stepson is down 100 freaking pounds because of Beachbody and Shakeology. So I'm sharing those things. So every single day, Energize, followed by 3 to 5 workout clips. Anything less than 3, confusing. Anything more than 5, we got it, right? I think 4 is kind of the sweet spot, but at least 3, maybe 5 if you're getting on a roll, right? Or sometimes you have funny clips of you and your kids. And then in that, I add music. So it's not like dead silence of you squatting, because gosh, that is just kill me now, right? Like, come on, guys. Like, let's entertain people here, right? They're watching for a reason. So, music, and then add some font. I always share my thought of the day. And sometimes my thought is literally just inviting to a boot camp. Sometimes it's overcoming an objection that someone said. Sometimes it's a motherhood thought. Sometimes it's an inspiration that Joel or Autumn or Jericho gave me, whatever it is. Coaches are always saying they don't know what to post about. If you're doing your job, you know what to post about. Because if you're working out, you're having thoughts. If you're listening to personal development, you're having thoughts. If you're alive, you're having thoughts. Share those thoughts with people. It's not boring. The boring stuff is what makes you the most relatable. If you can share your feelings and one person can see themselves in you, you've changed a life. And that's your job. Every time I get upset about missing a goal, my husband's like, at the end of the day, you signed up to help people and you're doing that. So there is no being upset. He's like, you have another chance. But at the end of the day, if we're helping people, that's our job. But you can't help them if you're silent. You can't help them if you're scared. You can't help them if you're hiding. So after that, I love to put out my invite every single day on my stories. Okay, again, I'm not missing a chance to help people. So after my workout, I say, just finished my workout. It was really hard. I really loved it. I'm doing this new boxing program. I wasn't aware I had so many muscles in my back. I'm so sore, like whatever my feeling is. And my followers, for some reason, like love to hear me like panting out of breath. Like it's so freaking bizarre, right? But give the people what they want, right? So, and then I'm talking to them and then I tell them I have an upcoming boot camp. I would love for you to join. Click this poll. I make it error proof, right? Click this poll if you would like some information. I'll send it out to you. If I'm talking about coaching, I'll say go to the link in my bio, fill out my survey, whatever it is. I give a specific call to action in just one. Don't be like, go to the link in my bio or click this poll or drop me an emoji or send me a DM. You can't give people that many options because now you've lost them. Give them one way to contact you, right? Click this poll. Now we know the polls expire after 24 hours. So 23 hours later, you're going to go through and you're going to invite every single person who watched that specific story. I don't care if they took the poll or not. They made it all the way through to that story. They're interested. And that's my personal thought. And I'm going to invite every single person who watched that story. This is my exact invite. Hey girl, wasn't sure if you saw, I have a new boot camp starting April 6th. Would it be okay to send you some info? It is nice to be nice. It is polite to ask people if you can send them information because they certainly didn't ask for it. And I am not ever using the word interested, okay? Interested somehow commits people and then they're going to ghost you because they showed no reason that would make me think that they're interested, right? But they're in my business by watching my story, so I'm going to invite them to my business. So you cannot worry if they didn't take the poll. Don't let your mind tell you, well, they didn't take the poll, so they don't want it. That is not true. That is absolutely not true. People don't know what they want because they don't know what we offer. So how do they know if they want it if they don't have the info? So I need to get the info out to as many people as I can, right? And a lot of people are crazy and they're like, oh, I didn't know how to get info from you. It's like, oh, weird. You haven't seen this poll for the last 5 years every day? Okay. Whatever, that's fine. I'll give it to you. Okay. So you never know who's literally on the other side of their phone dying for you to reach out for them. You never know. So extend your hand. Say, hey, take my hand. I can help you. Let them decide what they do with your hand. We don't decide for people. We don't play God. We ask everyone. We let them decide. And we keep going regardless of whatever they say. We're not emotionally attached to what they say or don't say. I had a new coach. I asked her how her invites were going. And she was like, I'm just getting all no's. I'm like, well, what are some of the reasons? She's like, well, no one's responded. I'm like, well, that's not a no. Like, that's a ghost. That's not a no, right? And I'll tell you in 5 years, so my philosophy is I'm going to follow up with someone until one of us dies, okay? So in 5 years, no one has ever said to me, don't message me ever again. Okay? Now, people have said crazy things to me and then I've had to block them. Sure. Okay? But nobody has ever told me to stop messaging them. They've either signed up or they're still ghosting me and I'm still inviting them because I have a new boot camp every 3 weeks. So I'm going to invite them every 3 weeks to my new boot camp, right? Because in some way, shape, or form, I've either invited them, they said they were interested, and that was as far as we got, or we made it somewhere down the rabbit hole, right? So I'm going to keep inviting them, but I know if I continue to show up on my stories and in my feed every single day, that eventually all of those not right nows will become yeses. And I've seen it happen time and time again. So after I invite them, I say, click this poll. The rest of the day is kind of just lifestyle stuff. But a few things that I make sure to do is I always show when I'm working because I want coaches who are watching or future coaches watching to know that I'm working. So when I sit down in my office chair, I'll say, hey, I'm just sitting down to work, talk a little bit about coaching. I'll show when I'm setting up content for my boot camps. I'll show when I'm working on presentations for my team calls. I shout out my coaches every single Thursday for the Beachbody Week, right? So anyone who added a coach gets a shout out. Anyone who rank advanced gets a shout out. Anyone who, had their highest paycheck, whatever. I'm like recognition queen. So I'm always showing coach life. So I think that's why I'm able to help so many people is because I try to make what I do as least confusing as possible. So every objection, every rude comment, everything that has ever been said to me, it goes into a post and a story like that. Because I want to combat that publicly, so I have less of that behind the scenes. And that's kind of just the way that I do it. And I just wake up every single day and I just do that same thing. And then when I'm not making stories, I'm engaging with people. So, because it's nice to be nice, right? So if we want story replies and we want comments and we want likes, we have to go give those things. And I think a lot of times we forget that. Oh, my following's not growing. When's the last time you followed someone new? You need to actively be growing your following and then engaging with those people if you want them to follow you back. And I'll tell you, not everyone's going to follow you back right away. You might have to reply to their story 3, 4, 5 times, and all of a sudden they start following you. Okay? But you want to get them in there because then they'll start watching your stories. They can see what you're all about, and then you have the opportunity to invite them. All right. I know we only have like 5 minutes, so I don't know if there's any questions.
No, that was awesome. Thanks, sister. Okay, so Courtney asked if you track everyone, like basically like every single person ever. Right, Court? Let me know if you wanted to expand on that a little bit. But
so I only track people that I'm inviting. I used to track like who I was adding so I could make sure to go engage with them. But now, not everyone follows you back. So I felt it seems silly to write all their names down. So if someone is like somebody that I want to work with as a coach, I will save them to my coach collection in Instagram. So I can go to that, and it just makes it easy to go engage with those accounts. So I only track people that I actually send an invite to. Whether they respond or not. And I just do it in an Excel spreadsheet. I'm not fancy. And I just basically have the date, their name, whether they responded, whether I gave info, whether I send a share cart, and whether they signed up. Because sometimes you forget people and you're like, oh crap, I sent her pricing and then we left it at that, right? So you don't want people falling through the cracks like that, especially if you are sending a lot of invites.
yes. And then Kendra asked, what does the info you send look like? And I know that can be kind of loaded. So go for it. If you want to like summarize that. I mean,
super easy. I literally, that same invite that I just told you guys, hey, wasn't sure if you saw. Okay, but with that, wasn't sure if you saw, that means I have to be talking about it. Otherwise, that message doesn't work. So if you're never talking, and I mean talking, not typing, you're never talking on your stories, you can't use that, okay? But I would encourage you, whatever the beginning of your to say the would it be okay to send you info, you will get a lot of shares from that, and that's great, okay? So after they say yes, they want info, first question always, are you familiar with Beachbody programs and Shakeology? Why do I ask that? Because you'd be amazed at the amount of coaches who want to get in my boot camp. It's very weird, okay? And so they don't understand that they should be working with their coach, or that, just because they're a discount coach, they're still a coach. You can't be a coach on my team if you're already a discount coach. Like, there's a lot of confusion. So that is why I always ask, because I don't need to give info if they already know. If they're like, yeah, I just completed lift 4. Okay. So does that mean you're working with a coach? And then we can move on from there, right? If they say no, I send them a blurb that I have saved that on Beachbody On Demand, basically just what it offers. And then in a separate message, I send them a blurb on Shakeology, and then I wait for their response. Okay. So if you sent it all together, it'd be one super long message, but it's just 2 short messages, but it just basically as quickly as concisely explains what we have to offer. So my number 1 tip for you is don't answer questions that nobody asked. Don't do it. Okay. If they ask you, if they say shared info and you tell them about every program, every superfood, and they can get a discount, and that's what you did because you were trying to do this and you're a mom of 3, holy crap, I would ghost your ass so hard if you did that to me. And you probably, that's what's happening to you because they didn't ask for that information. Okay. Short and sweet. Don't answer questions that nobody asked. You need to leave them hanging a little. Otherwise, they're not going to come back. They have nothing else to say to you. You just gave it all to them. You overwhelm them.
Well, and I think like just to go off of that for a second too, Danny, like I remember somebody reaching out to me about skincare at one point, and I actually came back to them at another point and said, hey, I'm just curious, like this specific product, like how much is this? Like very just direct, right? And she went on and on about all their ingredients and like everything, and just like, and I was like, awesome, what is the cost? And then like literally like still went on and on, and I got to a point where I was like, I can't respond to this because it's just too much. Like it was overwhelming. And
Yeah.
so I think we need to remember too, just to be human, you know, like just have a conversation. Like if you were I try to talk to every single person like they're my best friend, right? And I think that that's kind of, you know, if you really, you know, care and want to help them and stuff. And obviously if they're just asking about one specific program, you know, you want to help them get a pack and all of that. That's very good. But I think too, like being direct and not going on a word vomit tangent, for lack of better terms, is really important as well. So remember to just don't be a robot, right?
Yeah.
Don't just word vomit info. This is what I was going to ask too. Danny, what would you say to people where it's March 30th? They have until tomorrow night to hit Success Club. Maybe they're at SC0 right now and they're like, okay, well, I'll just throw in the towel and start next month. Like,
No.
like how, but what would be like your best tip to say, like, go out and do this? Like, I mean, we know that everything that you've said is consistency. So like you can't procrastinate and then rush that. You really can't. At the same time, there are certain things that you can do at this moment to decide, because it's a choice, that you're not going to let March go by just because it's the 30th, right? That you are going to hustle and you're going to work as hard as you can to help 3 people. So what would you say to that, Danny?
Yeah. So, Success Club 10 by the 10th has been my non-negotiable for 5 years, and I rarely miss. And if I do, I get it on like the 11th or 12th, right? Like, because it's a non-negotiable. So every month that you allow, oh, I didn't get it again, or you end at Success Club 4, which literally is daggers, like, God, just 4? Okay. Dang it. You know, it's like you're just putting another brick on your wall of obstacles every time. And each month it's going to get harder because you're not suddenly on the first going to be like, now I'm motivated. Now I'm going to do it. You have to decide in this moment that you're going to do it. And again, if you don't ASK, you don't GET. So if it's the 30th and you have until tomorrow to help 3 people, you have to put it out there. You have to tell your audience, I'm shooting for a goal with my business right now, and I would love more than anything to help 3 people get started. We have a sale that ends tomorrow. They don't need to know that it ends on the 24th of April, right? We have a sale that ends tomorrow. I would love to help save you some money and get you something positive in your life right now while, you know, you're at home and things might not be the best. You know what I mean? I would love for you to come join me, whatever it is, but you have to be and say exactly what you do. And then you have to push your ego to the side and you have to invite until you get those 3 yeses. So it's not like, okay, well, I'll send out 10 tonight and hopefully. No, you got to get that Facebook list, friends list downloaded, and you just go A through Z until you have those 3 yeses. And then you realize how terrible that felt, and you don't do that again in April. That would be my advice.
Love it. And I think too, guys, something that helps me is I will specifically say too, like, hey, we have a promo going on right now. Like, this is obviously after we've had a little bit of dialogue. I don't lead with that. At the same time, I will say, I'd love to get you set up by tomorrow, like by tomorrow at noon, so that we get all of your stuff in time for our group. So like, there's like different ways that you can kind of say that too. But I think like you creating a little bit of a sense of urgency is very important, especially with kind of how things are going at the moment. I know, like, for me, it would be very, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, maybe everyone here can relate, that it would be very easy to be like, I'll get to that when I get to that, because I have to homeschool right now, or I have to do this right now. I have to push this off, blah, 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 right? But if somebody gave me a sense of urgency, like, hey, let's get you set up right now. You know, can you give me a call in about an hour, whatever it is, if it's for coaching. Otherwise, I would love to get you set up at, you know, tonight. And then that way we get all your stuff in time and we can really get you going. Does this, you know, can I send this over to you now, or whatever it is, right? And it's not to put a bunch of pressure, and I'm probably not saying this very delicately right now, but it's not to put a bunch of pressure on them. It's to explain to them, like, I don't know about you guys, but I really do have a challenge group, right? Like, I'm being honest. Like, I have a challenge group starting in a week. I want to make sure that they get their Shakeology or their performance line in time. If you, I know that all of us are somewhat on the same schedule. So all of us probably have a challenge group, even the leaders in here and stuff, probably have a challenge group starting in about a week. Okay. So I think that that's a great way for you to kind of encourage people to get going. Okay. So just creating that sense of urgency. Misty said to what info, and this will probably be our last question, Danny, so we want to respect your time too. But what info do you start when they were, or do you start with when they respond? Do you send a message? Do you get their email? Do you send a form? What is, I know you talked about the poll. So what is
if I invite someone and then they say, sure, they want info, are you familiar with Beachbody programs, Shakeology? Depending on their answer, we go from there. If they say no, then I give them the Beachbody on Demand blurb and then the Shakeology blurb, and then I wait. They say, that sounds great. I validate them and I say, that does sound great. Would it be okay for me to send over the package options? And then I send over a graphic of whatever the current promo is, like right now, bar blend. But my conversations are very short, very sweet. Like, I just need to know if you're in or not, right? Like, I mean, that's all I need to know. Do you want info? Great. Give you the info. Here's the packages. You let me know. And if it's a not right now, great. I don't try to convince them in any way. I never try to like work around their obstacle for them. I just say, that's okay, girl. I run a new group every single month. You let me know when you're ready. And then 3 weeks later, I'll be inviting her again. But I have to run. My team calls right now.
You get it, girl. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Danny, you can go ahead and hop off. We are so appreciative, and I'm just going to close this out, but you go to your call, girl.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you. We are so grateful. All right, guys. So I'm going to close this out real quick here. I know it's been a good hour, but I just wanted to say too, I think the biggest thing is that everybody, like what I say when I like give you examples is going to be different than how some of you sound, right? So the same thing with Jesse, the same thing with Diana, Courtney, Ashley, like everyone's going to sound a little different. And so I think it's important too, to kind of take those examples and then know that what fits you is important as well. But I think it's so good for us to learn from those different tips and stuff. So I'm going to, if you want to stay on for a second, I'm going to pray for us real quick and then we're going to go. But happy birthday to Jesse and Natalie again. Yay. And I just also want to empower you guys. Every single person here can help 3 people by tomorrow night. I know that I've seen a lot of people, just to be honest with you, over the last almost 6 years of coaching, Jesse and I together, both at the same time, pretty much, like we have seen so many people give up at like 5 p.m. on the 31st. We've seen so many people throw in the towel early. And there's just, I think one of the things that you can be so proud of is hustling and giving it your all and knowing that you did everything you could, and then you can hold your head high knowing that you did everything that you possibly could. And so so I hope that encourages you to go hard until you can't for March, and then you go hard for April, right? So I'm going to pray over us real quick. If you can stay on, otherwise no worries at all. If that's not your gig, or if you have to go, I totally get it. So have a wonderful evening. But yeah, okay, let's pray. Father God, I just thank you so much for just the incredible women and men on this team, I think on the teams here. And I thank you so much for just the blessing that you've given us with this opportunity to serve others, to help others, and to give as much as we can, and to be able to be a light. And I just pray that you just continue to use us and bless us, God, that we would just lead with this with passion and belief, knowing that this is what we're called to right now. And so I just pray that you would just continue to use us, to bless us and protect us. And that you would just help us remember that that we don't have to have fear and we don't have to have doubt, because we know that, again, you're a God of order and grace. And so I give this to you, God. I give you the end of this month and just the rest of the year. And just this time, we pray over our country. We pray over the world. And we just know that you are in control. And so I just ask that you be with us in our everyday lives, and that we would continue to show up and be that light. We love you, Lord, in your name. Amen. Amen. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being on. And I hope that you guys have a great week. And yeah, excited to work with you, hustle with you. Bye, guys.